Good morning, people. Saturday morning. I work in retail. I rarely ever get a Saturday off, but I got one today. Going to meet up with my best buddy and get us a little bite to eat and catch up on some things. Talk about becoming YouTube superstars and such. Anyway, purpose of this video, let's talk about getting old. As you can see, I got a little bit of gray hair. Been around a few years. I turned 62 in about 2 weeks. I'll be 62 years old. And I'm going to tell you what, getting old ain't for sissies. It will surely knock your pride into the dirt. There are things that I can't do anymore that I used to be able to do. Just, you know, different things, feats of strength and stuff like that. Find I run out of breath quicker on some things, and straining myself can be kind of tough sometimes. I'm not elderly by any means. I can still do things. I still get around, for Pete's sake. I'm not dying just yet. But when you get old, you start thinking about stuff like that, though, like death. And this is not meant to be a big downer of a video, but you know, I got a lot more behind me than I got in front of me, and this is just a reality that I deal with, that I think most people my age deal with. We try not to dwell on it because I intend to live until I die, which I hope to be many years from now. Many years from now. I have aches and pains. You know, it's kind of funny. Someone was talking about giving glory to God, and they said, you know, first thing I say every morning when I get up is, thank you, Jesus. And I know they meant well by it, but in my mind, it's kind of funny. And I said, yeah, that's not the first thing on my mind. Usually the first thing I say is, ouch. Got to get the old bones going again and get them used to moving around. They say, and I believe it, evidence proves it, that you got to keep moving. If you don't, you'll die sooner. I'm about to retire. Now it's semi-retirement. I won't be, you know, I'll be a permanent part-time worker. That's what I'm saying. Permanent part-time, which means I'll have a lot more Saturdays off, by the way. Someone might say, well, David, what you going to do with your Saturdays? What you going to do with your time off? And I got plenty to do. Thankfully, my wife is not one who makes a list and wants to keep me busy all the time. If she's got something she wants me to do, something that's beyond her to do, you know, she'll ask me to do it. But, you know, I'm not one of these guys that, like, I work in a hardware store, and she's not one of these ladies that I see in the hardware store all the time. Well, my wife wants me to get this because she wants me to paint. My wife wants me to get this because we're remodeling, and my wife wants this, that, and the other. You know what? My wife wants to be left alone with that kind of stuff. She likes doing that herself. And I think this comes from her dad was a hard worker, and he managed some apartments before. He was the maintenance guy as a part-time gig he had going for a while. And he took his kids with him, his daughters at the time, and they learned plumbing. They helped him when he'd work on cars, because, you know, back at that time, you know, you could work on your own car. And I think he even taught auto mechanics at a school for a short while. Again, back then you could do things. So anyway, my wife learned from him. So, I mean, I come home one time, she wanted new faucets for the sinks. Went and got the faucets. I told her, so now, Sunday, I'll put these in. The reason why, this is sometime middle of the week, the reason why is because I know you can get started on something that's real easy to do, and something will hit out to left field, and you'll need something else or something will break. And so I wanted to make sure there was time for anything like that. I think that was Tuesday, because Wednesday when I got off work, she'd already done it. She put the faucets in herself. So my wife's not one to give me a bunch of stuff to do. Really, she wants me out of the way while she's doing stuff. And many a days when she said, it's a great day to ride your motorcycle. You should go take a ride. And that so I'd be out from underneath her feet while she's cleaning and stuff. So what am I going to do? I'm not good at fishing, but I do like to sit on the bank and get the line wet. I don't have a boat. No sense in buying a boat if you're not good at fishing. I'm not even sure how much I'd use it anyway. I will be working still. I'll be working 3 days a week, so it's not like I'm going to be sitting on the porch doing nothing. I have hobbies. Photography is a hobby of mine. Genealogy. Love studying the Bible. And I've got all kind of projects around the house that I want to do. Certain things I've been putting off because I know it's going to take a while. There's a tree I need to cut down. And I know it's going to be a bit of a job, so I've put that off, so I'll have time for something like that. I'll have plenty to do. I don't think I'm going to be one of these guys sitting on the porch just whittling my whatever time I have left away. Doctor's bills. Yeah, when you get older, them doctor bills, you better have you some insurance, because them doctor bills they'll pile up on you. I find, it was funny back in the day. I remember hearing the older people talking about having to go doctor's appointment. And though there's nothing particularly wrong with me, I find that I'm finding I'm having to do that too. I can just look at it kind of funny. It's just how my mind works, I guess. I like the fact though that the young people respect me. The young people I work with, they're always trying to help. I mean, I think they think I'm older than I am. Because they'll jump in, well, let me get that, mister. Let me get that. No, I got it. I'm okay. So I do enjoy that. And, there's places where they have senior discounts. I don't ever ask for them. But if they offer, sure, I'll take up on that senior discount. Something I've noticed, this might even deserve a short little video of its own. As I get older, I see more and more people passing away that I know. Usually, though, because I used to party pretty hard, drink and stay out all night until I hit the age of 29, and I got saved. And I just put all that stuff behind me because I wanted to please the Lord. So the partying, that kind of partying stopped because I thought it was displeasing to the Lord. So I quit. Totally quit drinking, quit everything else I was doing. Talking with my brother, probably a couple of years ago now, and talking about how I could not survive even one night of partying like I used to do. Could not survive it. It would kill me in one night, I'm sure. This is partying I did all the time. So I've noticed from about the age around 50 years old, that the people who think they're still in high school or think they're still in their early 20s or mid 20s, whatever, and keep partying like that and partying hard, started dying off. And the bad thing is that they actually looked like they were older, as in older than they are, because of their hard partying. I seen a lady that I used to party with years ago. I seen her, and she was a hard drinker. She loved the alcohol. And I seen her, and at first I didn't recognize her. She looked like an old bag lady to me, to be honest with you. And she was just real wrinkled up. She was always real skinny anyway. And I thought, man, she looks terrible. When I realized who she was, I didn't talk to her. She just kind of went this way and I went that way. And that's what that hard partying does to you. It makes you can imagine if it looks like that in your face, what's it do to you on the inside? By the time you hit your 50s, you start figuring it out, because you start seeing people dying off, hitting the graveyards 15, 20 years earlier than they should. It's all because of that hard partying. So So if you're one of those hard partiers, you might want to take a look and figure some things out. It's real easy to talk big when you're young. I'll live forever, I'm indestructible. And as you get older, and this is just, of course, this in regards to partying, this is also just in regards to life in general. You find out you're not so indestructible. I thought I was indestructible when I was in the Army. I partied hard then too. I would party all night, come in, take a shower, put my uniform on, and then go to work. Run 5 miles. That was a daily thing was I had to run 5 miles. I'm drinking all night. I may or may not be on a hangover. And I'm running 5 miles, sweating that alcohol out, and then working the rest of the day. Couldn't do that now. Like I said, that one day would kill me. One night of that would kill me. I couldn't do it now. Being indestructible, you kind of do stupid things that you don't think about the effect will be when you get older. I tell the young people that all the time that I work with. They'll lift heavy stuff, and I'll say, look, do this smart. Don't try to be a brute about it. You'll tear up your back. And I never was big on trying to be a brute with my strength. I've done some things, but I had an uncle, and he was like that. He worked for a moving company. And he could lift a refrigerator, strap it on his back, and go up steps with him. He was strong. He was a very strong man. But you know what? When he got older, he had to walk with a cane totally stooped over. He couldn't, it was very uncomfortable for him to stand straight up. And that was sad to see because he was a man's man back in his day. And how he abused himself when he was young told on him when he got older. Matter of fact, I think that he was the first of my mom's siblings to pass away. He was the youngest one, and he was the youngest when he died. 68 years old, I think he was, and all the rest of them lived to be 72, 73. I think one of them, the last one, passed away a year or so ago, lived to be 76. Yeah, getting old ain't for sissies. As you can see, I'm sitting here just talking, taking a different direction for my YouTube channel. I'm not trying to make money anymore. Matter of fact, I'm getting Social Security. I'm on a limited income, so I got to be careful now. I don't make any money off YouTube. I initially started YouTube to try to make money, and I was working hard at it. But I'm going to tell you, you got to work YouTube like a job if you're going to make money on it. You have to put in the time and the hours. And there is no immediate reward. It might be a year or 2 years before anything starts showing up in your bank account. I've been at it for, I don't know, 6, 7 years. But then again, I slacked off a lot. Originally, you know, it's history, cemeteries, stories of the people in the grave, telling their stories. And I started running out storylines. Told what I know at first. Then I started researching. I'd go to a cemetery, look at a tombstone and say, that's interesting. I wonder who this was. A lot of times it was with, you know, younger people I did that with because I want to know what happened. And then after a while it got to a point where, well, I'm just kind of running out of stuff. You know, maybe running kind of out of interest, to be honest with you. And so I just kind of, I don't want to say I quit. I put it on the back burner though. And but I've seen that, you know, they say you should have a niche. This is what your YouTube channel is about. And you should stick to that niche. People will find you who like that kind of thing. And that's true. I've seen a lot of successful YouTube channels. That's what they do. You know, that's most of what I subscribe to. But here lately, they've said, don't worry about niche. You know, for us older guys, gals, they're saying, no, there's people who will just listen to you. And if you've got something to say, a lot of political channels are like that. A lot of religious channels are like that. And some of the older people, that's kind of what they they do, they don't really talk religion or politics. Well, I mean, some do. They just talk about things that interest us older people. And if you're younger, you might still want to listen to this, because this is coming your way, buddy. It's coming your way. What do we talk about? Man, we talk about health, talk about life. We've got a lot to say about life. We've been through the mill. We talk about things we do. You know, I'm not good at fishing, but I do like to go. I might sit there one day just talk about fishing and how terrible I am at it. You know, we talk about issues, talk about Social Security. I was in the military. There'll probably be a video coming out about my issues with the VA nowadays. I'm having a great, they do me good as far as the medical side is concerned. I've really got no complaints. But as far as disability compensation, man, that's a circus there. I'm working on some things, though. Without getting too personal and into my personal business, I'll update you on that in another video. I'm going to meet my best friend, Mr. Bobby. By the way, he just started him a YouTube channel. He's kind of doing what I'm doing so far anyway. He's only got 1 or 2 videos up. It's hard to find because the name of it is Bobby. And you type in Bobby and all kind of Bobby stuff comes up. I think his first video was called maybe Goodbyes and New Beginnings or something like that. If you type in the title along with Bobby, then it'll come up. And go listen to him. He's got plenty to say. Lots of good advice just from his, you know, from his life. Wise stuff regarding family issues, getting along with family, getting along with God, being part of God's family, walking away from God, coming back to God. Very interesting channel. I would go check that out if I were you. As a matter of fact, I'll put a link down in the description, and that'll get you there even quicker. We're going to have lunch at a place called Tin Lizzie's. Now, for those of y'all who don't know, and most don't, Tin Lizzie is what they called Model T Fords way back in the day. Tin Lizzie. Well, a friend of mine, another good friend of mine actually, I have 3 people I consider my best friends. Todd, Bobby, and Mr. Billy Lee. And Todd took a Model T, 100-year-old, went across country with it about a year ago now. And he's been in a restaurant business for many, many years and decided to finally just step out and open his own. That's where I'm going now, Tin Lizzie's. If you're ever in the Sumter, South Carolina area, stop in, get you something to eat. He's open for breakfast and lunch. I think he opens at 7 a.m., closes at 2 p.m. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Not open on Sundays, not open on Mondays. At least right now. Food's good. It's real good. And he's done good since he opened it. I think he's been open a little bit over a month now. And it's done real good. But then again, Todd has done a lot for this community too. He worked downtown, and so he did a lot of stuff for downtown with fundraisers, and I mean, he's just really done good. And so the community knows who he is. So he had plenty of support when he left the job managing a restaurant downtown and started his own restaurant. I wasn't surprised. I wasn't surprised at all. He's doing so good. I'm glad of it too. So I'm gonna tell you what, stepping out on your own is scary. I had my own business for a short while, pest control. I did pest control for 15 years. Quit it, then got back into it in my own business, but still kept my regular full-time job, which I went part-time on. And figured out it wasn't for me, not to own the business. Again, age, I couldn't take the heat like I used to back in the day. feel like I was going to stroke out by the end of some of these days when they were real hot. And plus, I can now say, you know, when you get older, you think, well, what would have happened if I'd have done this? You second guess yourself a lot. You get contemplative and think about things. And now I can say, I know what would have happened if I would have started a business, because I did it. And it wasn't for me. Well, maybe if I was younger, it would have been just fine. But I knew that in a couple of years, I'd be trying to retire. And you know, people are saying, no, you should stay open. You're doing good. You should stay open and build this business, which is true. But I got to thinking, man, I'm ready to slow down and start retiring in a couple of years, and now I'm there. And I don't know that I want to take time to build a business and the energy involved. So I stepped out of it and went back to my full-time job working in a hardware store, which I thoroughly enjoy. It has its challenges. I'll be honest with you, retail work, I've had a bunch of different jobs. Retail's probably the easiest job I ever had. I mean, you got to know stuff, but there's nothing really physical about it. I've done roofing, okay? So shingles, up a ladder, up on a roof. I've dug ditches. I've worked jobs that require absolute labor. Retail's not one of those jobs. Now, if you're a carry-out guy, it can be. It can be. You know, that's for the young guys, though. It's not for me. Thankfully, I'm past that point in my life. And, you know, most of them are doing it now. They will be soon, too. They'll go on to other jobs or somewhere else, or they'll grow within the company. Or at least that's what happens to the company I work for. I work for a family-owned company, and it's just really great working for family-owned companies. When I was in pest control, I worked for 2 family-owned companies. I've worked another job that is family-owned. I can't remember what it was. And then the one I'm doing now. So, if I could pick a job between corporate and family-owned, I'm going family-owned every chance I can. Let that be a little bit of advice to you guys. And I am almost there. Wasn't sure what I was going to talk about when I first started this. I'm 22 minutes in and I've talked plenty. And I think I'm going to let it go now. Look, if you like this, again, I'm not trying to make any money with YouTube at this point. If I see I'm to the point where I can make money, you know, I get that income cap, Social Security, you know, I can turn off the money-making part, which never did me good anyway. You got to have 1,000 subscribers, and I'm almost there, and 4,000 watch hours. That's 4,000 hours within a year of people watching your stuff. Do the math on that. It's not easy. It takes time and dedication and 1 or 2 viral videos to get you there, to get you started. Y'all have a good day, a blessed day. Jesus loves you.